Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, what's up? I hope you guys are doing good today. So I'm here after saying I wouldn't be here, but I watched a video by New Mindset on YouTube. Great girl to follow, very wise, young but extremely wise. Um, and she did a video where she was talking about self love and talking about signs that you don't necessarily show yourself the right respect and giving up on yourself. And there was something in the video that stood out to me where she said that sometimes you quit things because you don't really see things out. You don't really feel like you can be successful, so sometimes you'll stop going. And for some reason that really spoke to me. Now, I know that this is a very small matter, but I had to think of it like this. I asked you guys for suggestions, you gave me suggestions, and then I quit on what you all suggested to me. And I thought about it, and I read your comments, and I thought about it some more, and I really felt like that wasn't right, and that wasn't okay for me to do. Um, and more, you have to be a person of your word, and you really need to stick stuff out through the end. And so that's what I decided to do with this show, as much as I cannot stand it. I really cannot stand it. But we are going to try to make the most of it. So I will be here with y'all until episode 17, because that is what I said I was going to do. And I am a woman of my word, so I'm going to do it. Who knows if I'll ever do the show again, but as of today, I'm going to do it. So we don't have a lot of time because I am short staffed at work, so I have to go ahead and get in, and I really can't be late, and I won't be able to take my full lunch like I normally do. So let's get through this as quick as we can. So Zach was really having a good time with Mindy. Mindy was hopeful that he would stay the night, and he did not do so. So she's kind of confused as to where they stand at this point. Um, so on this episode, I guess the experts are now realizing that this is not going well. In fact, this is going pretty bad. So we probably need to step in and see what we can do with this whole situation. So I am going to start with Mindy and Zach since the show started with them. So Dr. Pepsi comes in, and I'm going to call her Dr. Pepsi. Since everybody want to be fraudulent, I don't have to say her real name. I'm not giving her that respect because I don't trust the experts at this point in time. So Dr. Pepsi comes in, and she's sitting down and having a conversation with Mindy and Zach. And Mindy, I feel so sorry for her because she said, I feel stupid sometimes continuing to try and continuing to make the effort. And remember, this was one of my reasons that I listed last week. It's because I feel like in a regular world, Mindy would be able to take the rejection that Zach, just wasn't feeling her like that. But on this show, I almost feel like on behind the scenes, the experts tell them to stick it out and be patient and give them time. You want to keep giving somebody time that's clearly stated that they don't like you and they're not attracted to you. Like, who wants to stick around? I wouldn't stick around for that. If somebody told me that, I would want to be gone. But they try to stretch it out or whatever. So she says that she's been rejected so much and she doesn't know why she has to keep trying if she's being rejected. And she verbalized it very well to me. Zach says that he feels like he really is trying and he really is putting forth the effort, but the experts tell him that they don't feel like he's giving it his all, because if he was giving it his all, then he would be in the house. And Zach kind of thinks about it for a minute, and then he begins trying to talk in the circles that he normally talks in. But, Pepsi isn't really feeling it. She goes ahead and lets him know that you need to put forth more effort, and one of those things would probably be moving into the home. But till then, they're gonna do an activity. They do tantric yoga, and I've been wanting to do something like that. That looks like real. I'm not like super deep, but I do like that kind of spiritual type of stuff. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that. It looked kind of romantic, but also like in a very sweet way, not in a wham bam thank you ma'am type of way. So that was the closest that he had ever really been to Mindy, and it seemed like they were enjoying it. It definitely seemed like Mindy was enjoying it, but who knows if this is going to indeed bring them closer together. I think that remains to be seen. So Jessica and Austin, we can get through them real fast because Jessica and Austin are actually doing well. They play a little game, like a kind of like a truth or dare, where they're spinning the wheel, and it was really cute, and it was pretty hot, you know. Austin proceeded to tell us that he did not have on underwear. Okay, no draws. Y'all remember that song? So ignorant. Who sings passionately about not having any drawers on, but Austin doesn't. And so after they spin the wheel a couple of times, they decide to go ahead and take it on the bed because, you know, that's just where we at with it. And I'm cool with that. Okay, lots of kissing. I was with it. That's what married people do. I wasn't mad. Katie and Derek. Katie and Derek can't cook, okay? They're in the kitchen burning up stuff, setting off alarms, don't really know to put a little butter or a little Pam in the pan before you get started with the eggs, just all kind of stuff. They got groceries, but they don't know how to cook. So they agree that they're going to take a cooking class, which is fun for the couples. We'll get to that in just a moment. But in the meantime, they also play a cute little game, and that also got, real hot. It was a lot of kissing, and I saw some tongues. I was just like, oh my. I wouldn't want my mama to see me doing this on TV, but they grown, child, and they are married. And they take it on to the bedroom as well. I mean, I really didn't know exactly where this was gonna go because they were actually doing a lot of touching and a lot of kissing, so I wasn't sure what all they was about to be showing, but they took it on to the bedroom. I'm trying to see, did I have a lot of notes on them? I don't really think so. I think the experts really dealt with the couples who were having a lot more of the issues. Katie thinks it's going better since she decided to loosen up and stop harping on so many things and, just enjoy each other. And it seems like that has helped them a lot. So good, okay? Like Zach's friend or whoever that was said last week, just try to have fun with it. And I think that's what Katie's trying to do. So that's really good. Mike and Mika. Well, I said I didn't have a lot of time, right? So let me just jump right into it. So they're at home, right? And they're preparing for the day or whatever. And Mika lets Mike know that there's a cooking class that they could go to that Katie invited them to. Would you like to go? Mike is kind of being standoffish, and this is because they've had some conversations that haven't really gone well. And Mike has expressed to Mika that he would like her to be more vulnerable. Mika is upset, and she is saying that she is being vulnerable, and I am being vulnerable. What you mean? Like, I'm being vulnerable. You need to say, you keep saying that you want me to be more vulnerable. What does that mean? Do you understand when I say that I need specifics? Do you understand that? I was just like, oh, Mika, and she's kind of like, she's not doing one of these, but it's, y'all know how Mika can be with her mannerisms and her body. And Mike tells her, I can't communicate with you with this kind of disposition. Every time I talk to you, this is what I get. Why do you think I want to be vulnerable to that? I'm telling you to be vulnerable. I'm telling you to communicate in a different way. So he's trying to explain, and she's just like, what are you talking about? I'm being vulnerable. I come here. I'm showing up. Showing up is me being vulnerable. No, showing up is not you being vulnerable. If that's the case, then let's say I had children. I could just sit around the house and just be there, and this is me being here for you as a mother. And there's action. There's certain actions that you have to put in. Even when it comes to vulnerability, there's a certain active way to listen. There's a certain active way to communicate. There's just different things that you have to do. When I watch this show, I have come to the conclusion, which I said it in the very first episode, that I really don't know if Mika is mature enough. She's very mature for business. I don't know if she's mature enough for marriage. I don't know. I don't know if I see that, given even in how she's so good at explaining her point, but she's not as great as explaining things of the emotional sense and things of the relationship sense, and her, it's strange. It's strange how she's like how lawyers can communicate well when it comes to business and their case, but if you ask them, like, they're more logical thinkers, so if you ask them to sit down and explain themselves emotionally, they may not be all that great. I'm not saying all lawyers are like that, but you know what I mean? Like, more logical people are better at explaining logic, not really so good at explaining their emotions. I kind of get that vibe from her. And when you're married, you kind of have to find yourself somewhere in the middle. But she seems like one of those people that is going to make a lot of changes in her life between like 26 and 30. And as she gets older, she's going to be, I think she's going to grow to be a totally different person just from life experiences and things that she goes through. But, you know, on this television show, and don't get me wrong, because I know that there's some other stuff with Mike that may be leading to her aggravation that we're going to talk about, but she comes off as very irritated, you know, sometimes rude, and it's just not a good look for her on the television, and it makes me sad sometimes to watch her doing the things that she does. It really does. So Mike can't talk to her, so he ends up walking away. He was just like, "This is what I always get with you, so I'm out." And Mika's just sitting there, right? So Mike returns, and Mike says that, you know, I had to take a moment. Okay, I don't want to walk away from the marriage, but I had to take a moment because I'm not really good at communicating with you when you get like this. And so he explains to her, you know, she kind of does like this, and she was like, I do this. No, I don't do this. I do this. See, that's the type of childish immaturity that I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if you do this or if you do this. He's telling you both of them are uncomfortable. So whether you hit in the hand or whether you, no, that's two different things. And then she does like the sarcastic laugh, which always makes somebody feel stupid. So I just think it's just a few things that she could probably work on. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure when Mika looks at this television program and sees herself, she probably is like, ooh. You know how when you see yourself later, or you think about some stuff that you did later, you probably think, I probably shouldn't have moved like that. I hope she comes to this realization, because it doesn't make her look good on television. So what else happened? Oh, so he's telling her more about that. She was just like, I talk with my hands. And he was like, yeah, but I'm telling you that it makes me uncomfortable. You got it? You got it? Okay. All right. So I need you to make some adjustments to that. So she kind of agrees. You know, she, like I said, she can be a little, y'all, it's upsetting. She can be condescending at times. Oh, Mika. But she makes a great point and says, when you repeatedly walk away from conversations, it makes me wonder how our marriage is going to go, because I'm sitting here waiting on you to return, and I don't know when you're going to get back, and that does not make me feel good as your wife. And I agree with that. You know, just like you don't want her constantly talking with her hands, getting combative when she does speak to you, getting angry and having that disposition, you don't want to talk to that. I don't want to talk to somebody who, as I'm explaining stuff to them, they're going to get up and walk out the door. You know, I don't want to do that. Every time it gets hot in the kitchen, you running out, because, you know, it's not always going to be an easy conversation, but both of us have to be committed to stick with it. And so that's why they really need to read the love language book, because they don't even understand each other. Mika is a stick it out, sit there and take it type of person, no matter how ugly it gets. Mike is a get up and run away type of person when it starts getting ugly, and neither of them understand that personality or that argument style. See, they don't know each other's love language, y'all. Moving on. Oh, okay. So when Pepsi meets with them, they got to talk about the lies. So this is what happened, y'all. Mika wants to kind of try to make up, you know, they're trying to get along better, right? Okay, they say that they want to get along better. So she shows up to the yoga studio for a class because he's a yoga instructor, and that's something they're going to do to bond together. Well, when she gets there, the people tell her that the only person named Mike that works there cleans the rooms. That's not funny. But ain't no Mike here, baby. And I don't know who told you he work here, because he don't work here. So Mika is justifiably, y'all, annoyed, confused. They don't end up taking the class. And she tells Mike that this was a waste of my time. And of course she probably also was going off. So when they go out to dinner, she expressed that to Mike, that I went there and they said that you didn't even work there. And so I'm concerned that you're lying again. First with the job, then with the whole sex thing. Let's not bring that up again. Then with this whole yoga teacher thing. Are you a yoga teacher? Are you not? I couldn't talk to you because you decided you wanted to walk away. So I spoke with Taylor about it. Well, that was a wrong move. And Mike is just like, why would you talk to Taylor? Like, this is what I don't understand. You don't speak to me, your husband. You go and talk to everybody else about me and what we have going on. And I will say that that also is a sign of somebody who's not quite mature about marriage, because anybody who's married will tell you that you cannot have everybody in your business. That is one of the first rules. However, Mike, don't try to bring that up to deflect from the fact that you have not been telling truths, bruh, and we need to know what's going on. Are you a teacher, principal, director? Do you teach the yoga? Have you taken these trips that you said you've taken? So, Mike also tells her that when I did try to talk to you, you were mad and you said this is a waste of time, so I didn't want to talk to you anymore. First of all, I would have said that too. Like, this is a waste of my time. I would have said it maybe a little differently than Mika, but this is a waste of my time. Like, you told me that you were going to be teaching a class and there's nothing going on here. Like, tell me what's going on. And you decide to walk away. That's going to lead me to think even more that you're lying. So I can sense where Mika's frustrations are coming from, because who wants to be gaslighted and lied to and then be made to look, constantly irritated on television? So, sorry, y'all. They go talk to Pepsi. And Pepsi is just like, Michael, can you address the fact that you might not be telling the truth about some things? Like, can we talk about that? Even Michael's mannerisms during the counseling session. Like, he was constantly staring off into space or looking at the floor. He was scratching that arm. He was all behind his head. He was pursed lips the whole time. And I was just so confused by his mannerisms. Like, all of that was throwing me off. He was drinking his juice like, I am a yoga teacher. I am. The person that was there was new, and they did not know who I was. All right? I'm known as a sub. It just seemed like, y'all, it do seem like there's not truths completely being told. I just have to say that. Like, everything can't be a coincidence. So I just, maybe he's a student and maybe he teach on YouTube. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Maybe he stretched it a little bit. I know he's got to be employed somewhere, but is he a teacher? Let's hope so, because that's easy to find out. Or educator. Let's see what else they talk about. And the way he was just saying, like, that's not true. It's not true. No. He was just giving me like he was just giving me certain vibes. I mean, absolutely no expression at all. He talks about how he wants to be vulnerable, but he can't do so with Mika. He doesn't want to feel rejected every time he tries to talk to somebody, and the response he receives is kind of one of rejection. They both admit to trying to stick it out another couple of weeks. So basically, they're going to continue to waste our time because they know they don't need to. But Mike does cop to the fact that he hasn't been 100% truthful about things. So that is good. But he does admit that he's also uncomfortable with his woman in his home, in their bed. He just doesn't feel comfortable with her. And, Pepsi tries to talk them through it. They have a little, session afterwards, like a little truth session. I guess it might be helpful. I'm not sure, but they are at least getting along better. Where Mike asks, "Could you see yourself falling in love with me?" Mika answered like Zach, talked in circles, and then was just like, I could probably. It would take some time. That means no. And she asks Mike, "Do you understand why it's hard for me to trust you?" And he does admit that he can kind of see why it's hard. So at least that was kind of good. But you know, the experts to me have come in when things have really hit the fan. Y'all should have been here a long time ago. Then we have Brandon and Taylor. It's a wrap for that relationship. I don't know what Pepsi thought she was about to come in there and do. There's nothing she can do. Taylor could miss me with that counseling session. First of all, she came in there. This is how I know Taylor didn't care. She came in there. She needed a fill-in. She had on some dingy, they look like dingy white flip-flops. I was just like, this girl don't care about what's going on, because if she would have cared even a little bit, she would have got a feel, if nothing else. But she comes in there and she comes to talk to Brandon. You know, what? I mean, Brandon is not interested in talking to her unless she has an apology. Taylor is not interested in apologizing because she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. She only responded to what was going on in their relationship. She hasn't been comfortable since after Panama. She's confused as to why Brandon's upset. I said, why are you confused? You're not confused. You're not confusing us either. She didn't expect him to see the post, and it wasn't really directed to him. Then who do you think would have taken offense to it, Taylor? Okay, the 6'3" man? Okay, the man with the little P? Who do you think would have taken offense to the post if not your husband? So she could just miss me with all of that. You know, I don't. Then she started trying to cry. She finally worked some tears out. I don't know if I believe him, but you know, just no. And I don't want to see her anymore, and I don't really want to see Brandon either. So it all just kind of works out well for me if you ask me. But if you're acting single, you're doing things that a single person would do, you're doing snaps that a single person would say, then just go ahead and be single. You know, Brandon took it like I probably would have taken it in there. Like, I don't have anything to say to her. This woman is not telling the truth. I'm not about to sit in here and do this. I'm done. You know, there's no going anywhere from here. He meets up later with one of his homeboys, and, Taylor has wrote him a book via text message, going off on him and saying that she wanted to meet, and saying she wanted to talk, but then she was also saying a whole bunch of other stuff in this long text message, and he's just not really feeling it. And I just say, why waste time? You know, I don't care that Pepsi was sitting in there trying to convince y'all to do something. I don't think they needed to do it. I'm trying to see what I'm forgetting. Yeah, and Brandon says everything is for the camera, and I think I can agree with that. Okay, so y'all both can go. I'm fine with that. Let's move on. When they do the cooking class actually goes fairly well. I was trying to see if anybody had any veins in their hand, because you ain't got no veins in your hand, and I'm not really trusting that you a whiz in the kitchen, but I don't know. I bet this person might depart right next to me at work. Oh no, they didn't. But okay. Sorry y'all, trying to get my notes. Oh yeah, y'all know they sit down after the cooking class and they have a little powwow about everybody's relationship. I'm nothing really there. I was uncomfortable with the fact that Brandon and Taylor were brought up because they weren't there. So I kind of agree with Mike on that, but then at the same time, it's a reality show, so y'all kind of got to bring up everybody's business. Yeah, just kind of par for the course. But what I wanted to tell Mika was, you go ahead and talk about other people's problems, because I know you don't want to talk about your own. And Mindy says that it doesn't seem like Michael and Mika really have any type of, physical attraction. There's no really love there. And I wanted to be like, you need to worry about your own relationship, Mindy. Don't worry about anybody else's dysfunctional relationship, because you got your own problems and you living alone in the house, okay? And it's sad because Jessica and Austin actually feel bad about how well that they're doing, because the other couples are going through so many problems. But hey, don't ever feel bad about how good your relationship is going. Just continue to love your relationship, love your husband, love your wife, and y'all continue to do well together. You ain't got to get I wouldn't throw it in anybody's face like, oh girl, we doing good, couldn't be me. But I just would continue to be happy and let your love be a motivation. Somebody said that. I actually think it was Zach. But let y'all's love continue to be a motivation to everybody else. And so I thought that was a good point. That's really it, y'all. I have to get to work. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Yes, we're going to ride it out to episode 17. Dr. Cal's show, I'm not going to be able to do that show. I should have known by the title I couldn't do it because it's called Bride and Prejudice. So they're going to be talking about race issues with the family and, you know, religion issues in the family, and I don't want to get into that over here. That's not my lane. I let other people do that if that's their lane, but it's not mine. So that's it. Y'all can let me know what you think. Are you glad that Brennan and Taylor are going to be gone? I am. I'm glad that both of them are out. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, if you're not there for the right reasons, it's not really unfortunate, right? I'm hoping for the best for Jessica and Austin, Katie and Derek. Michael and Mika, I also want them, you know, gone as well. And Mindy and Zach, you know, they can go too. I just think it's time to give it on up. Just give it up. in the words of the boy is mine. Just go ahead and give it up. But y'all can let me know what y'all thought about that. And also, do you think Michael is not telling the truth? I really want to know what y'all think. This is like a Inspector Gadget profile. But yeah, y'all just I'm telling you, he ain't right. I was cracking up the whole time. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.